From the 1011 Now streaming studio, this is 1011's Morning Pulse.
Sponsored by Murray Roofing.
Good morning and happy Friday. This is Craig Allison with your Morning Pulse for Friday, August 8th. Our first story this morning, 4 years after a suspension was handed down to the fraternity Phi Gamma Delta, or Fiji, they are now coming back to campus. This move is taking place a year earlier than expected, but the fraternity says it's committed to a fresh start. Back in 2021, hundreds of students protested outside the Fiji house amid allegations a 17-year-old girl was sexually assaulted by a 19-year-old member of Fiji. Fraternity saying in part, quote, "We worked closely with university officials throughout the reestablishment process to do so with full support from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln." We have more on this story on our website, 1011now.com. Second story in our crime tracker, an update on an investigation in Gage County where a 5-year-old boy died from a brain injury back in June. 30-year-old Hannah Peterson and her fiancé, 31-year-old Timothy Irks Jr., both from Liberty, are now facing a slew of child abuse charges. Gage County deputies were called on June 23rd about the 5-year-old receiving intensive care in Missouri for severe head trauma. He died a week later, and hospital staff also examined the Petersons' 1-year-old child, who also showed signs of abuse and was then taken into the state of Missouri's custody. Peterson has yet to be taken into custody, but Irks Jr. had his bond set at $1 million. Third story ahead of school, the Nebraska Department of Education says in 2021, there are more than 4,000 children who are experiencing homelessness here in the Good Life state. In Lincoln, the district says last year they had the highest number of students identified as homeless at 853. Program at LPS is getting those students the help they need to have the same academic experience as their peers. 40% of those students are staying in a shelter, and the number continues to rise. LPS says the trend is troubling, but they hope to give parents and families a little ease when it comes to their children's education. Your fourth story, the Nebraska Division of Behavioral Health is working to figure out where millions of dollars in federal funding should go to address the issue of mental health. Committee emphasized the direct link between housing, mental health, and public safety. Assisted outpatient therapy, court-ordered mental health treatment, and more could potentially save $300 million in the state budget when addressing this issue. The advisory board's goal is to give lawmakers the data and feed it back. They need to make an informed decision, though, about where that funding goes next, especially as federal money becomes available. Wrapping things up with your final story, drug overdose deaths are an issue across the country, and Wisconsin native Andy Kosick is trying to bring awareness and make a difference on the topic. He took on the goal of walking from Maine to California, and on the way he's raising awareness and money for Safe Project, an organization committed to stopping overdose deaths. Yesterday he made his way through Hastings, and he says he's loved his time in the Cornhusker State. And as you can see, he was high-fiving the Kool-Aid man there earlier, but he says the people in Nebraska have been nothing short of nice. Well, that is your Morning Pulse for this Friday morning, and we'll wrap things up with a look at your 7-day forecast. It's going to be hot and humid today.
You've been listening to 1011's Morning Pulse. Watch, listen, stream on the 1011 Now app, on YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Sponsored by Murray Roofing.